Hi guys, we're at Kachunk Record Store, and me and Tiffany are going to go in depth about the comeback of vinyl records and what they mean to our culture. We're in downtown Annapolis. This is one of the stores we found, so follow me.
Say my name, say my name. If no one is around you, say baby I love you. If you went running, say my name, say my name. You acting kinda shady and calling me baby. Why the sudden change? Say my name, say my name. If no one is around you, say baby I love you. If you ain't running game.
Hi, I'm here with Isabella, and I'm going to ask her a few questions about vinyls. So, Izzy, what was your first record you ever bought?
I got a Bright Eyes vinyl from the Soundgarden in Baltimore. It had the song If Winter Ends on it, which is why I got it.
Is there a certain appeal to vinyls that you like, or do you just prefer vinyls over CD?
I've never really been a CD person just because, I don't know, it's easier to download stuff on your phone. But I think that vinyls just have a really, I don't know, raw quality to them. It makes it feel homey. Like, there's nothing better than laying in your bed listening to vinyl, just laying there. Like, it's a comforting feeling.
Around the world, sales of vinyl records are at the highest since 1997. Last year, 4.6 vinyl records were sold in the United States, which is nearly 500% more in the last 5 years. Music commentator Samuel Reynolds calls this vinyl comeback retromania. Old bands are reforming and new artists are building their sounds and looks on classic acts. Looking back on things while growing up, did you buy vinyl records as a piece of culture or because of excellent marketing and the appeal?
Well, personally, I think the appeal is that it's backed up by so many people. It's been around for so long, and it's like a very nostalgic feel to it. So I feel like that appeals to our generation looking back and maybe seeing their new bands on old media. It's kind of cool.
Hi, I'm sitting here with my friend Julian Gray. He is a local music producer and sound engineer. First, Julian, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do?
Hey, I'm Julian Gray. I am a producer and engineer here in Bowie, Maryland. I've actually worked on a lot of films. I've done publisher stuff. I've done label stuff. I have my own personal music online. You can check it out at juliangraymusic.com. And yeah, a pleasure to do this interview.
Okay, Julian, first question. Are you able to explain the similarities and differences between analog sound and digital sound?
Yeah, when you're working with digital sound, you're working in, it's kind of like bits, like a computer would process. So everything you do, it has to be synthesized, and it kind of gives it a more cold and unnatural feeling. When you're working with analog sound like vinyl or analog synthesizers or guitars, you get a more warm and vibrant sound when you're working with them. It's just more appealing to the ear in most cases.
So does that mean analog has a better sound, or is digital music just easy to access?
It depends on what you're going for. In some cases, analog can be better. In some cases, it can be worse. It just depends on the style of music you're working on and the project that you're working on.
Do vinyl records have any role in DJing and live performances today?
A lot of people, old school DJs especially, they use something called time codes. It allows you to use a vinyl record and a digital needle that lets you influence like software and control software with records. I personally don't do it. I use MIDI stuff like this, but a lot of people say it's a lot easier to do things like turntablism or scratching, if you will. That kind of stuff really is beneficial to use vinyl because it has an old school kind of feeling.
So is there any artists that you would love to listen to on a vinyl record?
Daft Punk is actually a really, really good example of that. They have that old school kind of feeling, and I've heard from a lot of people that their vinyl versions of their albums are some of the best versions of their songs.
Okay, so in your opinion, do you think the vinyl comeback is just simply a trend?
Honestly, if I had to give you an answer, I'd say vinyl is only going to last so long as we have, or we can afford to produce it. It's more expensive and it's less practical than digital music. I think there'll always be a niche group for vinyl, as there always has been. It sounds better in a lot of cases, and it's just harder to produce. So I don't think that it's going to go mainstream as it did back in the early 90s, or 20th century rather. But I do think it's going to have a place, and it's always going to.